Hello, friends. Welcome once again to my vlog. We have always said that for every breath we take, we should thank God. I always thought of that as a great concept, but in the last few months, it's becoming very real. Man, by his very nature, is either lost in the past or daydreaming about the future. You can call it vision or planning, but the fact remains that there are times when everything goes topsy-turvy. If you have past wounds and scars, they too become insignificant and irrelevant. Amassed wealth, high positions, burning desires and ambitions all lose their relative importance. Believe me, what matters is the present. Osho's mantra always was here and now. I can't agree more. I find the present times to be unique, something that truly is in our own hands. As the public debate and discourse continues on how fast society should reopen in the wake of COVID, it's also worth asking some other questions, like what should life be like after the pandemic disease? What are ways that we can as individuals resume our normal life and perhaps come out ahead with lessons learned from the crisis? But before all that, let's acknowledge the anguish of those who have lost or are losing livelihoods, and far worse, those who have lost loved ones directly or indirectly because of COVID. There are also those whose families or intimate relationships have shattered under the pressure of too much or too little proximity. And there are many, perhaps millions, whose already delicate place in the economy has become more wobbly. With those losses comes fears. How will I manage? Am I safe? What will my future look like? Does life really matter? Currently, we might be overwhelmed by the fear of coronavirus, but it's still teaching us so much. It has already helped us slow down, to stand still, and ultimately reach a balance in our lives. It has also given us time to ponder upon, reflect on, start valuing what really matters in life without having to read any self-help books. If you all have noticed, in the last few decades, there has been a surge in self-management guides, spiritual gurus, and now time has suddenly taught us what's really essential for a good life. The focus for a majority has moved to good health, peace, and survival instead of materialistic pursuits. Each individual is worried about remaining healthy and alive now. Some are even paranoid. Now, what is right? Do we become obsessed with the fear of COVID, or do we have blind faith that nature will save us? Is it a divine plan, or will science and technology come to our rescue? The questions are simple for those who believe in balance. The pandemic, however, proves that nature is the most powerful, and yet we have to depend on science and technology to be rescued. Uh, Several paradoxical facts too have been revealed. Many youngsters addicted to social media have realized the importance of this the human contact. People who used to criticize technology are experiencing its benefits. I remember when the coronavirus first arrived on the scene, infecting only a few thousands and killing only hundreds. They said it's God's way to punish China. Then it spread to other parts, infecting hundreds and thousands and killing thousands. And they said God is punishing humanity. Now, why would one who loves you punish you? I mean, God is supposed to be the most merciful, the most forgiving. In all religions, um, praying is supposed to heal every illness, And now that all religions have learned from each other, the preachers find sins to blame for everything that goes wrong, from earthquakes to epidemics. I mean, violence, theft, rapes, etc. are sins. They are horrible sins. But a lot of pleasure things are sins too. Like cigarette packs tells you smoking is injurious to your health. The preacher would simply call it a sin. The same thing goes for drinking. You drink alcohol, you are committing a sin. The virus doesn't, however, care about anything. Alcohol is haram in Islam, prohibited in many other faiths. And the funny thing is, actually, alcohol saves you from coronavirus. You know what I mean? Many whose livers haven't ever been wet with alcohol have been literally, bathing in it. The sanitizer doesn't have soap. It's the alcohol that kills the coronavirus. Provided, of course, the liquid is at least 60 to 70% alcohol. Scientists have begun studying why so few smokers died when so many non smokers couldn't make it. Apparently, there is some connection between the layer of tar in the average smoker's lung and the coronavirus ability to, penetrate through it. Some doctors say the smokers have low immunity, so low that the immune system fails to generate what you call, in the medical people they call it the cytokine storm, if I am right, that kills you. Well, we have to wait for the conclusion of that study, but data suggest if you have been smoking for years, you have a good chance of surviving the virus. If you are a known smoker, there is no point to start now. You will also die early, even if the coronavirus fails to get you, because lung cancer will at some point get you. So, no, smoking is not a good idea ever. And that's not the point of this vlog. The point is, these agents of sin, and not all your gods, your Rama, Allah, Jesus, have been saving people. It's the doctors and the medical research, long frowned upon the very religious people who believe God saves us all. It's these doctors who are putting their lives at stake, and not this high priest. Our sins are exaggerated, and virtues are overrated by this priestly class. I personally know few doctors who have been hit under their belt for being in the forefront in their fight against this coronavirus. This coronavirus crisis has exposed a lot of dogma and delusions about the divine. A lot of us are realizing that life is precious and uncertain, that the sins and virtues are all made up. It's the good and the bad that one should care about. Life is for living and not for worrying about the afterlife or what the books say about life. Books that didn't get right where we came from cannot be right about where we go from here. So stop praying and start helping. Begin with yourself. Praying is pretending to help others. I want you all to wake up to all the food waste. Please realize, please don't waste food. Love your local grocery guy who has been supplying you with all the essential. While big supermarkets struggle to cope with the demand, many local shops have stayed well stocked and have been giving you above and beyond, have been going beyond and about to help their communities. If possible, buy yourself a bicycle. Because once all this is over, we will still remember what it was like when we were only allowed once a day, that too for a short duration. Switching short trips in the car to a walk or a bicycle ride is great for your physical and mental well being. I mean, pandemic or no pandemic. Take stock of your travel habits. It's not yet clear when we will be able to travel abroad as freely as we used to. So learn to embrace what your own country has to offer, might be the way forward in the near future. And as things get back to normal, we might realize that we don't need to take a long haul flight and stay at an all inclusive hotel to have a lovely vacation. Go and appreciate birds and trees. For many of us, hearing birds singing from our open windows and balconies have been the uplifting sound we have ever needed in our life. You can continue to support your local wildlife by setting up bird feeders. We cannot also forget how miraculously the planet healed itself as human beings stopped all those activities that have destroyed the harmony of nature. It now remains to be seen which world we will choose to occupy and build when this is finally over. And we can resume, where we started from if you want. But I am an eternal optimist. But sometimes even I begin to wonder whether we will really learn some lessons from this pandemic. If I had all the powers, I would declare a worldwide lockdown once a year for a month so that the planet can heal itself. It took Mother Nature just a few months to regain what was lost. How long will it take us? Think about that. Sometimes, when human greed crosses the boundaries of good behavior, nature takes over to show them who really owns the planet and what will live on long after you and I are gone. We have to agree that we are learning a new way of life which will become the new norm. Yet, we don't have to be scared that everything will come to an end. It is true, some will succumb to the battle. It is equally saddening to see the plight of the poor. I know it's not appropriate to categorize the present situation as a boon or a bane. We just have to be sensible, cautious, and optimistic to sail through. Man no longer needs complicated philosophy for life, just an understanding. Just an understanding, I repeat. You mess with existence, and the existence will mess with you. Big time.